Now, we have discussed the equality between righteousness and profit in detail, and we also know that righteousness does not contradict business or money making itself. So, in an ideal world, which is usually the assumption for most economists, focusing on profit making should not cause a problem at all. However, we're not living in an ideal world, and people do suffer from cognitive bias based on information. Since people are naturally influenced by the leaders, a benevolent government that focuses on justice and ethics can lead to a similar mentality among the people as well. And in contrast, if the government and all the ministers only focus on profit, this will equally result in an atmosphere of competition among the people. So when King Hui of Liang asked Mencius on how to bring profit to the country, Mencius rejected the notion of profit. He said to the king that he didn't even have to mention the word profit in the first place. Despite of the mathematical equivalence between profit and justice, as we already mentioned already, mentioning profit alone is devastating in the long term, especially when it comes from the country's leader. So an atmosphere of competition among the people will result in general mood of robbing from each other. And that's where the problem comes from. So this cannot be more true in modern society at the moment. The conversation between Mencius and King Hui of Liang is about the negative influence from the top leadership to the common people. But even among the common people themselves, a constant view of profit making is equally harmful on a personal level. Again, let me be clear. This is not to deny the responsibility of making a living. And quite the contrary, it is encouraged. But if such mentality takes over and becomes the dominant principle that drives our lives, our behavior will change, and inevitably without us knowing. And such a person will be the target of complaint. Well, why would people complain about him, you might ask? Well, very simply, this is because the sense of competition takes over and drive his daily conduct and the dealing with other people. Because profit is what everybody thinks about quite naturally without prompting. And there is no need to talk about this anymore. So that's why Confucius or the Confucians try to avoid mentioning the word profit, but replace the notion with righteousness. Now, as we have discussed quite extensively, righteousness leads to the wealth creation itself. Well, very interestingly, to this end, the great economist Adam Smith shared the same view. In one of his lectures, he said, those principles of the human mind which are most beneficial to society are by no means marked by nature as the most honorable. Hunger, thirst, and the passion for sex are the great supports of the human species. Yet, almost every expression of these excites contempt. In the same manner, the principle in the mind which prompts to truck, barter, and exchange, though it is the foundation of arts, commerce, and division of labor, yet it is not marked with anything amiable. The plain reason for this is that these principles are so strongly implanted by nature that they have no occasion for that additional force which the weaker principles need.